Browns hosting the Ravens Sunday at Cleveland Browns Stadium. This game's going to be a little tricky to pick. We're going to get to that because we're going to do three things to watch here. And Mary Kay, what is the first thing Browns fans should watch?
You know, all eyes are going to be on Deshaun Watson. We might be watching him in pregame to see what he looks in pregame warmups. I don't know if they'll take it right up to the limit like that before they tell us whether he's active or inactive. They might want to do that just for a competitive advantage against the Ravens. You have to use everything that you can possibly come up with. But I think he's going to play. Kevin Stefanski's hopeful he's going to play. But even if he does play, and we've been talking about this for the past few days, even if he does play, will he have the long ball? Will he be able to fire it downfield to Amari or Elijah or Marquise Goodwin or anybody else with this sore shoulder that he has? So he's definitely something to watch. It's sort of a challenged secondary, but still, if you have a bad wing, it can be tough.
Yeah, when we saw him throw on Friday, he threw a couple of passes, and then he went back and talked to trainer Joe Sheehan. So it's just really hard to tell, even if he can play, what he'll be able to do with that shoulder. Ashley, what are you watching?
Yeah, I think my eyes are going to be on the other side of the ball. Well, obviously, all eyes are going to be on Deshaun Watson. But in terms of other things to watch in this game, the Browns' pass rush, I think, continues to kind of be the story of the season for them. But interestingly enough, like sacks besides that last game against the Titans have been kind of hard to come by for this team because other offenses have been getting the ball out really quickly against this defense because this pass rush has been so good. So I'm really curious to see how often they can get to Lamar Jackson, pressure him, how much they can stop him from doing what he wants to do, and if they can carry this team to a win.
And Lamar Jackson has really struggled under pressure, and that's where I'm going to go. Lamar Jackson, just in general. We know what Lamar can do with his legs. We know the problems he can cause, and in this new Todd Monken offense, he's throwing the ball really well. A 73% completion percentage when he's not pressured. That's over 80%. So he has been fantastic so far in these first three games, even though that Ravens offense hasn't exactly been explosive. That potential is there. We've all seen Lamar Jackson work miracles running that Ravens offense, and we've seen it happen against the Cleveland Browns. Okay, so we've got to make picks in this game. Again, we've got to hedge this a little bit. We don't know if Deshaun Watson is playing. We might not know that until Sunday at about 11:30. So however you guys want to do this, you want to make two picks, you want to hedge it, whatever you want to say. Ashley, you get to start us off. What's your pick?
Yeah, the Deshaun question really kind of clouds a lot of this, but I think for me, it's really hard to pick against this Browns defense right now. And even if, regardless what happens with Deshaun, the Ravens are so banged up themselves. So I think I'm still going to pick the Browns in this game. I'm going to make my Browns score a little lower than I had on the Orange and Brown Talk preview episode that we just did. I'm going to make it Browns 21-13, and I'll give the Ravens 2 Justin Tucker field goals and only 1 touchdown against this defense.
So I went with a low score on our podcast, and I'm going to stick with that same score. I do believe that whether it's Deshaun, whether it's Dorian Thompson-Robinson, this defense is going to be the reason that the Browns win this football game. So I'm going to stick with the Browns too. I'm going to say that they win this game 17-14, regardless of who the core. If it's Deshaun, maybe they score a few more points, but regardless, I think the Browns win this game. Mary Kay, what are you picking?
You know, it's funny. When these two teams get together, I always expect there to be points, you know, and I think I'm living in the past thinking that the Ravens will actually be able to score some points somehow, some way. And maybe it will be defensively, but I'm going to stick with my first gut instinct on this game, and that was that it will be a little bit higher scoring than one might think against a Browns defense that has only given up 6 points at home, that doesn't allow anybody to convert a third down or get near their danger zone or red zone. So I'm going to go Browns 28, Ravens 24.
It's very telling that even with the questions with Deshaun Watson, we're all still willing to pick the Browns. It shows just how good this football team could really be. So whatever happens at Cleveland Browns Stadium on Sunday, of course, we'll cover it all at cleveland.com/Browns.